So we've just finished up patch, and now what we want to do is get some lights on. So there are a couple of different ways to accomplish that. The first one, the easiest one, is to come in and use our faders. So pushing up fader 1 or fader 2 or so on down the line, you'll notice, again, using the mouse as a pointing device, that channels 1 through 4 have some levels associated with them. And even though 3 and 4 don't have any information patched to them, they'll still set a level. The level is in red because we have it set in a manual way. We'll talk a little more about manual in a little more detail later. So we can set a variety of levels. You can pull these back down or up, either way. If we want to get to, so this is going to currently be channels 1 through 40. If we want to access more channels manually, we come up here to the click wheel, which is channels 1 to 40 currently. Clicking down, we go to channels 41 through 80. And we click again for 81 to 120. I'll show you this in a slightly different way as well. I'm going to use swap to switch screens on your display. And you'll notice our fader bars. Again, the mouse is a pointing device. We have channel 1 here. And as I run fader 1 up and down, you'll see the channel level being set. And we're 1 through 40. Clicking the click wheel again, we now change to 41 through 80. And again, faders work the same way. Setting a variety of levels in different places. You'll also notice that the color here on the fader bars matches the color of the LEDs. We'll talk about what the green ones are in a little bit as well. I'm going to swap back to our channel display to talk about a different way of getting channels on, and that is by using the keypad. So you can work either just with the faders or the faders in combination with entering information from the keypad, and there are a couple of different ways to do that. The easiest way is to select a channel. If we go 1 at, and then we have a few choices here. We can simply hit full enter, and you'll notice up here at the top, channel 1 has popped to full. Or we can set it at some other percentage by going at 50 enter. Or if we're not sure exactly where we're going to be, that's what the level wheel is for. And we simply use the level wheel by running it up and down. And you can see that the level information for number 1 moves up and down. It is rate sensitive, so the faster we move, the wider a range we cover. If we go slowly, we have very fine control and can cover a smaller area. So if I'm not sure what level I want, maybe I'm going to dial it up until someone's looking out at the stage and says, oh, stop there. So maybe 40% was it. Or bring it up by 10%. I can go at 50, enter, and the level will jump up by that much. The faders will also work with our moving lights. By simply running them up, you'll notice that just the intensities go up. So we have the ability to turn them on and get light coming out of them very quickly and easily just by using the faders. Or again, 12 through 15 at 50, enter, and they go into 50%, or run the wheel up. So all three of those techniques are perfectly acceptable for setting levels. In order to get rid of the levels, we clear, and now we have some red zeros and some information up here. If you're used to our older consoles, to the Express or Expression console line, you're used to hitting release at this point. Very similar function on the Element is to use the sneak button and enter. So sneak enter is the same as hitting release, and you'll notice now that our levels are fading down and then out. So sneak enter is the equivalent of release. There are two ways to work with sneak, very similar to release. If we have a variety of levels set, let's do 1 through 2 full, and 9 through 11 at 80. So with them still selected, so I have levels set manually here, and with them still selected, if I hit sneak enter, that's the equivalent of hitting release once, and only those that are selected fade out. With no selection, sneak enter will clear all of the channels, which is the equivalent of hitting release. So that's the difference in the two approaches, and the way to get lights off or get rid of them if you're not sure where they're coming on from, or if anytime they're in red. And that's kind of it for getting lights on in a down and dirty, quick, easy way.